Good morning. Rhonda here with the Salem, Ohio Public Library. I wanted to just showcase a little bit extra information about Microsoft Excel. I released a video a couple weeks ago just showing some of the basics, and today I want to show you a little bit more of an advanced feature that can really help you put your data in a nice organized table that will give you a summary or analyze the data for you so you don't have to spend all that time working with individual formulas. I do want to put out a reminder to everyone that if this is something you're interested in, I will be having a program on June 28th at 6:30, which is a Tuesday, and I will be going over some of these more advanced features in a little bit more depth. You can register for this course at the Salem, Ohio Public Library's website under events. And once you do that, you can get a little bit more information about what I will be teaching in that class. So to get started, I'm going to exit out of this and I'm going to pull up a spreadsheet here. Now, there is so much here to look at that it can really be a little bit jarring when you're looking at it at a first glance. And there's really a lot of rows and columns to take a look at. But what we're going to do today is we're going to sort of break this down and we're going to change it into a very easy table that could be manipulated to sort of give you the results for each category that you need. So let's go over what a pivot table really is. A pivot table is a tool used to calculate, summarize, and analyze data. This helps you see comparisons and patterns or trends within the data, and it'll kind of help you get to that point a little easier than if you were to go in and do each one individually with a individual formula. So let's get started. I just want to make a quick note with this that before you begin, your data should be organized by columns and single header rows. So we have of course, we have columns here, as you can see, and then we have our single header row, which is just right up here. Okay, so we have one single row, and that's exactly what we're looking for. To begin, we need to select our cells. In this situation, I have a lot of cells to select. So we would do that by first clicking on the initial cell that we want to begin with, and then we would just hold down our left click button and start dragging. Now we need to make sure that we're dragging all the way to the end of this data, which would be right here, and then all the way down. So there's so much here. I mean, we have hundreds of rows here. So I'm going to try and speed this up a little bit so that we could get to the very end of it. Okay. And so now I see that I'm at the end. There's over 420 lines of data. Imagine trying to take that and break it down one by one by one. That could really be a tedious task if you were trying to figure out each individual section up here in the header just one at a time. So now that we're all selected, okay, we're going to go ahead and go to this this insert tab, and we're going to go to pivot table. So you'll notice this looks super weird right here where it says table and range. The reason for this awkward formula is because in Microsoft Excel, there are many formulas that you can use to calculate certain things. Some calculate numbers, some can pull letters, some can go by color coding. It just all depends on what you're looking for. And if you were to break this down into one formula, this is what it would look like. Okay, so next we're just going to go ahead and hit new worksheet. You could hit existing worksheet if you wanted to put another table into a different worksheet. But for this example, I'm just going to click new worksheet and we're going to hit OK. So now we get this weird looking table here that doesn't really have anything in there. But over here on the right hand side, you can see that this is our pivot table fields. So I'm going to use as an example, I'm just going to say I want to know grades. I want to know how many students got A's and B's and C's and D's and F's. I want to know how many A's, how many B's, and so on. So when I click those over here on the right-hand side, unfortunately, my little icon there is sort of taking up the left-hand side for you. So let's move this over. Okay. So over here now we can see that this column says sum of A's, and then it gives 1,129. This one is sum of B's, 332, and so on. So now we have a nice easy table to show us each grade. And then you can even go in and you can add more. So I'm going to look at, let's do GPAs. And I'm going to go ahead and maybe we'll do buildings. And we'll go with yearly daily attendance rate. So as you can see, as I went through each of those, they started to add their extra little tables here. And I did click out of it, but that was pretty much the bulk of what I was trying to show you, so that now we have only the data that we were looking for, and it is all nice and summarized for us. So they're really not hard at all. I really encourage you to take a moment and open up your Excel spreadsheet. Just enter in some silly data. It doesn't have to be anything crazy, just to sort of experiment with it and give a pivot table a try. And once you do it a couple of times, it really does become quite easy, and it's very informative. All right, well, I hope that everyone learned something today. And once again, make sure you check out the Salem, Ohio Public Library's website or Facebook page, and you can certainly register for the course this upcoming Tuesday. If for some reason you can't make it out, which we all have super busy schedules these days, just a reminder that I do have hours at the library on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and you can actually set up a one-on-one appointment with me, and I could work through this with you. Okay, everybody, have an excellent day. Thank you.